Hello and welcome. You know, if you have one of these, you certainly need some of these. I just got back from an awesome trip, 5,000 miles here in the CyberTruck. We went up through Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, and down to Wyoming. Spent, 5 weeks in Wyoming and then drove all the way back via Tennessee and Atlanta back here. The CyberTruck performed awesome. Moreover, the running boards that I installed from Hansshow was awesome. My wife is 5'2". She could get in and out of the CyberTruck so easy with the running boards. One of the things I picked up, which I really thought was awesome, was a sunshade. Sunshade protects that massive window in the front of the CyberTruck from heating up the truck while it's parked. Of course, with the internal cabin overheat protection, it kept it fine. However, why let the solar radiation bake the inside of your CyberTruck? Sunshade. These are what they look like. These are mud flaps. Look at this thing. Yeah, I went through a lot of rainstorms since it was absolutely filthy, and so it's kind of cleanish. But the mud flaps will help keep the junk from the road, driving in rain, snow, and stuff like that from coating the whole side of the CyberTruck and the rear. We'll install those. I picked up these little cool things. These are cleats, just like what you would find on a boat. You've been on a boat. This is the thing that sits onto the deck of the boat, and you wrap the rope around it, and it keeps the boat from floating out into the lake or out into the river. These are going to go inside of the vault to help tie down the stuff you put in the vault. It's kind of cool. Got a pair of those. This thing is not a briefcase. No. You guys probably know from watching my videos, I've got two dogs, Hank and Luna. Hank is a 75-pound Catahoula. Yeah, he's a big dog, big claws. Luna, of course, is a lab. She's a female. She's about 50 pounds. She's also loves to go into the truck. Both dogs love to ride in our Teslas. The CyberTruck is no different. However, Hank's claws are massive. They almost look like a bear claw. Well, I don't want them to damage the upholstery, so I got this. This is a protector for the rear of the CyberTruck. Covers up the seats, covers up the side of the back of the CyberTruck, and keeps the guys happy that ride in the back. Makes us happy because they're totally contained inside of the CyberTruck. So we're going to install that, and we'll have two happy dogs. And what dog doesn't like to drive around in a truck? I know my dogs do. Let's get to install this stuff. All right, so after installing the buttons, I install these guys. Make sure it's all the way pushed down. Install these little locking pins. Make sure it's pushed hard against the truck. And then these guys will spread out and hold these guys together. All right, so it's mostly on. Now the last step is to install the torque screw. I may have to get down here and look at it, but I think it'll all line up. I think I'll spin around here and take a look. You don't want to cross thread, so the ticket is you go backwards, counterclockwise till it clicks, like that, and then screw it in. If you would just re-screw it in, a lot of times you will re-thread it, and that's not what you want. This torque screw is used to hold the molding on, and in our case, it's going to hold the back of the mud flap on. Again, don't go crazy tightening it. You just want to make it snug so it doesn't fall out on the road. And that's it. The rear one is on. It's on there pretty good. The top one is about as good as it's going to be, but it's on there pretty darn strong. All right, I'm going to go and install the front right one, and I'll show you how the front right goes on versus the rear left. Here we are at the front right of the CyberTruck. I've turned the wheel to give me more room. I did the back left and the front right just to be a little different. First thing, what do? We remove the buttons. Now what's a button? Well, you saw on the back, but I'll show you again. This little button here is a little plastic button that retains the mud flap. It has a locking pin, looks like a fake screw. And this goes in the hole. Once it's in the hole, you push it in, and as you can see, it spreads out, and that holds it on. So we're going to remove the existing ones using a small screwdriver. There's a small access hole on the buttons. You slip your screwdriver in there and then pry up on the head of the button. I get it in there. There we go. So by popping the head upwards, it goes ahead and shrinks this and it pops out. So we'll do that in several places. This particular mud flap has 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little thing they call a buckle that clips it into the molding, and we'll install all that. So let me do this. I'll speed it up so I don't waste your time. Okay, the 4 pins are removed. See how this goes on? They go on pretty well. I put the front left one on. Essentially it goes right here, and it sits nice and snug against the side of the truck. I then will take the supplied ones, push them in the holes, make sure that they're seated. Sometimes it takes a little extra oomph to make sure they're in the hole. Okay, and so once they're in, I take the locking pin now and make sure it's pushed flush as far as it'll go. And then you push real hard if you can, and it seats the pin. Okay? Get 3 more locking pins out. Make sure the button is fully flush. Stick the locking pin in. Same on this one. And then there's one underneath. So we'll spin around and do that from underneath. Again, insert the button. Make sure it's flush. And it fits into the hole properly. Sometimes you need to wiggle it a little. Get it in the hole. And I'm doing this where I can't really see. There it is. Okay, so it's in. And then I stick the locking pin in. And it spreads it out. All right, so it's really on there. There's one more thing we need to do. Hansshow calls this a buckle. I call it a clip. You see it's a little metal clip, and it goes right in this little slot here, and it hooks right up under the thing there. And I don't think I got it in there. It's got to go underneath the side there. So you got to put it in a kind of an angle. Make sure this is pushed all the way down. You don't cut the crap out of yourself, you'll be okay. Okay. Again, trying to do this in the blind. Once you get it up underneath this little lip here, You can slide the clip in there, and that'll also hold it in. That's it. The front mud flap is installed. I did the same thing on the front left. I'm going to go do the back right, but I'm not going to waste your time. So let me go do that, and I'll catch up on the next thing we're going to install. And here's what that clip looks like close up. Clips behind this, so it holds the mud flap tight against the top there. And that's it. The next accessory is this. This is the sunshade. You've seen them. They've been around for a million years, but the key is not one this large. All right. How many of you guys have actually wrapped or folded up a band saw? You know, those things they use in wood shop and metal shop where the band goes around two wheels. Have you ever seen those where you fold them up and put, no? Okay. Well, anyway, this is like a band saw, but it's a sunshade. So it folds up, as you can see. It looks like in 3 pieces, just like a bandsaw. And here's what you do. Are you ready? Okay, stand back now. Don't jump. It folds out like that. And it folds out yet again. And the reason is we got to go around the mirror and the camera. So you want the shiny side up. Why do you want the shiny side up, you ask? Well, when solar radiation hits, sun, heat, you want to reflect it off of the silver. You know, when you wear a black shirt out in the sun, what happens? Yeah, that's it. You get nice and hot. All right, so you fold this baby out. I think it was made for Godzilla. And you adjust it. You see this little hole here? It's got a little piece of Velcro. Yeah. And so you fold it out. You stick it all the way up. It's a better part of 4 feet up and almost 5 feet wide. You pull the Velcro out and you stick it together. And then once it's here, you tuck it up behind the sun visor. Bam! There it is. There's your sunshade. You need one of these if you have a CyberTruck. That window is so large. It puts so much heat in the car. The poor cabin overheat protection works really hard to keep it cool. This way, keeps it out of the car. You're good. This is the back seat of the CyberTruck. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good size. Got a really cool screen. You have a ability to adjust the air conditioning, check the navigation. In fact, Hank and Luna have learned how to use the touchscreen here. They can tell when we're going to arrive once they set the navigation. It's pretty darn cool. Well, let's see how we set this up for Hank and Luna. Our suitcase looking thing comes with Velcro here on the top. Pull that open. We then set this up. I'll get my fat butt out of the way. There is a center seat and the headrest raises, which you're going to need to do. It's a good darn thing these open at 90 degrees because trying to maneuver around here being as big as I am, that's not a cool thing. All right, so you want to orient it so that it has the little thing. See this? Got a little piece of Velcro. It goes over the center headrest and helps it hold it up. They hook over the rest. You don't want your dog scratching the headrest. So we raise it up. I stick the Velcro underneath here. Maybe. And pull it up. Attach the Velcro. And that holds the center and it completely covers the headrest here. Same with this. There is no Velcro. However, there is no adjustment on the headrest. It hooks right over the top. The sides fold out and down. Now, you see the pocket here? Looky there. Goes right over the headrest. That's cool. All right, so we'll get that adjusted. Let's get the other side. I don't think I can reach it. Well, maybe I can. Yeah. What happens when you're 6'6"? Goes over the back here, like that. The front has a little pocket, just like the other side here. And guess where that goes? Yeah, right over the headrest. Now, we even have a little pocket for their dog treats or toys. This is a screen. They can see upwards, but more importantly, it gives them a clear shot of the ventilation that comes in here. So it stays nice and cool. And that's it. This can be zipped up. I can zip this up. And guess what this does? You got it. It protects the doors. So it makes like a little box here that they can actually sit here. See? So your animals will sit here. They get to look out of the window, but they can't scratch on the door. Isn't that neat? There's some additional straps here for tying it up, but that's it. This is the Hansshow dog carrier for the CyberTruck. It's pretty darn cool. Now I just need Hank and Luna. Oh wait, they're in Nashville. Darn it. I don't have any actors here. Well, use your imagination. It's pretty cool. So when you load your pups, you unzip this. You can fold it up if you wish, and they can jump up on the Hansshow running board, up here, and into the truck. What is better than that? And then once they're in, you take this, and you run the zipper up. Try and do this with one hand like I do most of my videos. And it makes a barrier where they're not going to scratch the doors. What I wanted to show you, though, was this cool netting. See that? The sits here like this. Once it pulls down, has a clear shot of the ventilation to keep the animals cool. So there you go. Isn't that nice? And it folds up. You can keep it in your CyberTruck. You need one of these. It's kind of cool, just like what you'd find on a boat. And how I'm going to do it is, let me show you the mechanism. Let me unscrew it here. Don't lose the parts. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you get this little piece here, right? It's a machine thing. Looks like a nut. But the way I do it, and I like doing it that way, the screw is not long enough to allow you to unscrew it, put it in, and slide it. So what I usually do is I choose the place. And I usually don't move them around. So the way these work is you put it right behind the narrowest part, right? And the back of the clevy is all machined or molded here. And so I spin this around and I line it up onto the screw and then I screw it in, right? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And once it's tight, I move the whole truck. And that's as hard as it is. Now, how do you use a clevy like this? Oh, really? You don't know? Well, let me show you. So what's so cool about a clevy? Well, it holds your boat onto the dock. I think that's a pretty cool thing. But how do you use it in the bed? Well, there's hooks like this where you just put your rope through and tie a knot. But sometimes when you move stuff around, you don't want all these knots. I mean, I could tie knots still tomorrow. And it holds really well, but it's not what I'm looking for. So what makes a clevy really good? If you have something in the back of your bed that you want to tie down that you're going to just temporarily keep it in the bed from falling over, a clevy is the way to go. How do you use it? Well, like this one, you can stick it in and tie a knot. Like that, right? But what if you need to tie and untie? Maybe you're moving hay or you're doing something in your truck that you're maybe temporarily hauling it from one side of the yard to the other. Here's what a clevy is good for, just like your boat. So you start around, right? And you go this way. Then you go this way. Then you go this way. And you go, hey, that's cool. It's really on there, right? But wait, if I pull it, it'll fall out. No, it won't. Watch this. Ready? See this? You twist it, and it pulls it tight. Isn't that cool? Now watch. You twist it again. Right? You ready? Oh, we'll twist it this way. Pull it tight. And guess what? It's on there. It is not coming off. But let's say you get to your destination and you say, dang, now we got to untie it. Watch this. You just loosen it up. You loosen this one up. And you just do this. And bam, you're done. That is the benefit of a Clevy. I mean, you can do this if you wish. Maybe you're traveling across the country or something. You really want to do it. So these are really handy for that. And it's really handy because it not only does what this does, but it does the Clevy thing, which is temporary. That's it. Hansshow comes through again. As you can see, putting accessories on the CyberTruck is not hard to do. You can do it pretty easy yourself. Little ingenuity, little common sense, and following the instructions, not a problem. I got mine from Hansshow. They make some good accessories for the CyberTruck. You might want to check it out. If you have a Tesla, oh man, they got all kinds of stuff. Maybe it's time to buy something for one of your loved ones, maybe, and it has a CyberTruck. And there is a discount coupon down in the credits down below. You're more than welcome to use it. Get you a discount if you do buy something from Hansshow. Thanks for watching. I'll look for you in the next CyberTruck videos, and take care.